Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently heading towards a looming disaster, but we're deliberately choosing to not do anything about it here. Specifically, the reason for that is because we calculated it and we're going to get our manpower up to 50% before this is relevant. So we're not going to be too concerned about that, but that does mean that we can't do manpower expenditures until that's done. So we would prefer not to fight anybody. Thank you very much. We do have a request for military access here. They're at war with the Timurids, so we will accept that. Anything that hurts the Timurids, we're okay with. So that sounds great. Burgundy went with Naples will defend us again. Okay. What do we got here? Gain 5 prestige? Yes, please. Coruscant made a claim on us. Hilarious. And Poland is planning to attack the Teutonic Order. No shockers there. Now, our Crownland is currently low, and we're definitely going to have to work on bringing up our Crownland. And to that end, we're going to have a few issues with our overall loyalty. Potentially. Really, though, our equilibrium only needs to be 45. Right? Because we can constantly do an agenda. So that's definitely noted. We can grab ourselves Diptech 5 at this point. Magnificent. We'll be fairly ahead of time here. So that's absolutely great. We would love to grab Admin Tech 4. That would be absolutely huge. We can seize land now. Is this a good time to do it? Actually, yes. So we can definitely do that. We're going to seize that at this moment. Phenomenal. 50.3, 56, 58.6, and 59.4. All of that looks good. Okay, so request for military access. I don't think we care about that one. That's fine. Austria decided to accept knowledge sharing. Speaking of which, I want to take a look at the status of Renaissance in this area. Okay, it's going to take a little while to get to us, but not as bad as if we were, down here or something. That would be a really long time. For now, this is reasonably okay. We are going to get that 50% manpower marker fairly soon. Our truce with the Timurids will not expire for another 7 years. So that's definitely noted. That's not bad at all. We're going to continue to work on our Crownland, of course. That is going to be important for us. We need to bring that back in line, and eventually we're going to want these governing capacities from each of these. That would be absolutely great. We're also going to eventually want this monthly diplomatic power. All of that costs Crownland. All of that costs maximum absolutism. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about the absolutism. But the Crownland, that's a little bit more on the painful side. So we're currently gaining about 4 ducats per month right now. That is better than I anticipated this to be. Oh, it's because we cut our army maintenance. Right. That makes sense. We should probably not be spending any of this on rooting out corruption right now. It's coming down for free. So for the moment, that's reasonably fine. We're going to move towards legalism. That'll boost our taxes a little bit. And that'll mean that we can eventually build some province improvements. I mean, we might want to build a marketplace in Samarkand, but for now, I'm not too concerned about building marketplaces. We want to get our admin tech up so that we can start building mosques. That's going to be amazing. 40% taxes? Yes, please. So that would be great. We are about to get this looming disaster done with. 27,537 now. Yeah, this number keeps increasing, which makes sense. That said, our gain per month does as well. So we are very, very close to half here. Let's see here. 13.5 is half of 27. So next month, we should reach halfway on the manpower. Right? We're very close to it. Maybe not quite yet. Stability. Can be stopped by one of the following must be true. Currently in a disaster, manpower level at least 50%. Okay, so they're not gaining progress at this moment. There we go. Now it goes away. It just took it a moment. Cool. So that's absolutely wonderful. Stability less than 0, manpower level less than 25%. Yeah. So our royal marriage with Nogai is over. We don't need to boost our stability. What we really need to do here is get our admin tech up. Our economy is not great. Miltech going up would be phenomenal. I'm just shopping around here a little bit. Miltech 4, Miltech 4, Miltech 4, Miltech 5. I mean, Nogai is Miltech 3. 129 reasons not to do this. Most of that is our economic base, so that makes sense. It's probably not going to change too much. I think what we want to do is start thinking about shopping around for someone to attack, like potentially Uzbek, get some of these cores going, but this is not amazing on the ally front. So would we be better off attacking Chagatai? Yeah, but it's still not good. Okay, what about Yarkand, in theory? We don't have a CB on that one, but we're mostly just shopping right now. So Afghanistan would be something like this. Yeah, basically everybody is a fair amount stronger than us right now, so we mostly just need to develop ourselves. We're still allied with Nogai, correct? There's that royal marriage offered as well. Yeah, so we have some defenses there. I do want to think about bringing up our army maintenance to around here or so that way we do have 472 troops per month. 130 from attrition. Oh, we're taking attrition down here. Yeah, we should definitely move this army at this juncture then. So we're going to move back up to Samarkand. We flipped these around previously. I'm just flipping them back here. And we discovered a very laggy agent from Chagatai. We lose the stability here. Now is the time that we boost our stability back up. I don't like the random stability loss there. That is unfortunate. That does delay our admin tech, but we do get our mill tech here. That gives us Muslim dual infantry, and supply limit increase is very, very good for us as well. In fact, mill tech 5 is just generally a really solid mill tech. So we're going to grab Muslim dual infantry. Cool. And these guys can get to drilling at this point. Oh, we need a leader over here. Yeah, that would make sense. We don't currently have a military leader other than our ruler, but we'll do that for now. Now, this is probably going to put us negative financially. Yes, I'm just checking in on that. Production efficiency plus 10%. How much do we gain from production? So that would be 0.24. I'm going to take the ducks here. And we're going to undrill these. We just can't afford that, unfortunately. Herat can be upgraded, but it's probably not something that we want to do just yet. I think that this cash will be better spent, for now at least, working on just our base income. I think that's going to be the overall goal. So at this point, we cannot yet... actually, when can we seize land? It seems like we've been able to do that pretty frequently. Not for another 3 years. Okay, fair enough. I really want to get this admin tech going here. That's going to be very useful for us, of course. Kazan has accepted knowledge sharing. Sure. We need 562, and we have 499 currently available. We're at minus 10% because of the neighbor bonus. So that is fine, I guess. And we need about 2,500 men to fully reinforce our armies. Okay, yeah, that's looking reasonably fine. We need to get our economy online here. That is mission number 1. Once our economy is online, we can start outproducing the Timurids and going after them. But we really do need this admin tech. We would have had it now if it wasn't for that random stability drop. Maybe we should have just taken the stability drop, gotten the admin tech, and then boosted it after. It's ultimately kind of a wash, I feel like. And this way, I think we get more tax income overall out of it. But we are concerned about the Ottomans. No doubt about that. So we're about to get Admin Tech 4. That's a very, very good one for us. So we grab that. Fantastic. Now we can get mosques. And that, of course, is something we're very interested in doing. Wow, plus 0.33? That's incredible. My usual threshold is this 0.1 number. I don't usually build it beyond that because of building slots, but that usually doesn't matter all that much, to be honest. It's just about, it's just an efficiency thing, right? So we can get a couple of these going, and that's going to be very solid. And there's a couple more that we would be interested in building as well. Our manpower is nearly done. At this point, we need 577 men. Wonderful. And 165 are going... Okay, what do we lose here? A stability, 100 dip power, or 25 dip power? We're going to lose the 25 dip power here. Diplomatic power is in my opinion, the weakest of the three, and we don't need it as badly. So that's great. That's also the reason why we're not getting it from the merchants at this point. We could be, but I would rather get Crownland back first, and we will be getting it, but it's a lower priority. Cool. So this is all reasonably fine for now. When is our next admin tech coming through? That gives us idea groups, which is definitely something that we want to get our hands on. Production efficiency is not the greatest of things. That's currently a few years out. Okay, noted. We need 7 men to fully reinforce our armies. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay. I want to do a little bit of shopping again here. So, as a hypothetical, if we attack Uzbek, 56k and 28k cavalry, that's a large amount. Kazan, Great Horde, Chagatai. Over in Chagatai, Yarkand, Kazan, Uzbek. So it's a little bit different, slightly better. They don't have Great Horde in there, so that is definitely useful. And Yarkand directly, they're actually interested in an alliance with us, but that would be the same thing as Chagatai, who is their overlord. Okay, that makes sense. Over here in the Timurids, we're not really in a position to attack Timurid land. We'll need more units here, for sure. No doubt about that. We are a mill tech up on them, which is good, but we definitely need more units to make that happen. So for the time being, that's reasonably fine. I want to check in on our autonomy out over here. Okay. It is ticking down, but that's going to take a little while. No doubt about that. Can it be lower than 6.15% due to our corruption as well? So let's move towards legalism. Did this have corruption reduction? No. Okay. Just wanted to double check that. But this does. Fantastic. So we need to get at least 25 towards legalism. The question is, do we spend our piety on this, or is this just a cooldown once we get there? Well, we'll figure it out. So for now, that's reasonably fine. That'll be absolutely wonderful. It is going up by 0.1 per month, but that's not really the biggest of deals. We'll lose 50 diplomatic power. That's okay. We could start thinking about... Actually, I want to check in on our force limit here. 31 out of 21? Okay. Yep, we definitely need to do something about that force limit. No doubt about that. We can't claim Timur's legacy just yet. We would become the Timurids? Interesting. That's not necessarily the worst thing. What do we need for that? Timur's does not exist. We would have to own Isfahan, Qam, and Shiraz. Okay. And we would also have to own Kabul, Merv, and Tehran. Makes sense. So we would definitely have to be able to beat the Timurids. We're not really in that position just yet. They're allied with Mara and Sind. We would need a strong ally to be able to defeat them. Ajam might be an interesting option. They're plus 25, but they are hostile towards us. I wonder about the Ottomans, though. We might be in an interesting position for the Ottomans. 56 reasons to not do an alliance. 20 of those are that they already have too many diplomatic relations. 20 of those are our army strength. I'm going to start improving relations with the Ottomans. That's a long, or not really a long term, that's like a medium term goal to ally the Ottomans and use them to help break this, not really stalemate, but we're not really in a position where we can expand easily right now. If we break our alliance with Nogai, we could potentially move up into Nogai. But this is also potentially risky. They're allied with ourselves, Crimea, and Ajam. They might look to ally somebody out over here if we break our alliance with them. Are we in a position to fight Ajam? Yes, we are. Which is interesting, but Khorasan exists here as a march of the Timurids. Which does make me very sad. I don't suppose any of the Timurid vassals are super interested in breaking away. Sistan is. So is Fars. And Afghanistan. So which of these is strongest? 5k? 5k? 7k? Well, we can't ask them to support independence while they have a truce, or while we have a truce with the Timurids. So that's something. The Ottomans are administering an empire. Good job, Ottomans. That's very responsible of you. When can we do this? That is going to be in August. I'd kind of like to line up these cooldowns, so we'll wait on that for now. That'll be okay. And we can see that this needs to raise up its loyalty equilibrium a ways yet. We need to get, well, up to a 45 is where we need to get. So that's okay for now. We can use government interactions, and what would we want to do here? Diplomatic reputation +1. We're not interested in core creation costs. We don't have manpower, or rather, we don't have subjects to grab manpower from. So I think we just boost our national tax modifier again. We have no subjects right now. That will change. So what is our cap on manpower? 29,000. Noted. And our income is currently 4.18 with our army maintenance here. I'm going to turn our army maintenance back down now. But out of curiosity, can we afford to drill? 1.74? Okay, noted. 25 towards legalism. That's a lot. Okay. We're going to have a downsize either way. Let's do it. So we're not going to drill these guys just yet. I was more curious on where that would end up being. But what are we at now for our piety? 72? Okay. I'd like to bring that up to 75, and then we can start dropping our corruption, which would be great. It is going down a tiny, tiny bit. Emphasis on tiny bit. And we're going to... What is this right now? 44.8. It is at its equilibrium. Okay, so we unfortunately have to do something here. Leaders without upkeep, maybe, but I don't want to drop these other loyalty equilibriums, so I don't think I'll do that one for now. That pretty much means land rights. We are going to want the governing cap eventually. So we're going to grab that. That does hurt our crownland. But now they're going to boost up. We need to wait 2 months now. Actually, right now works. So we do this. And what do we got for these proposals? Base tax of at least 4 in Bamyan. I'd rather not do that right now. We're behind time in our admin power. Ajam's opinion of Transoxania. We can maybe do that one. What's the other options? Marketplace, Stock Depot, or Stock Exchange in Samarkand. And we need an administrative advisor and not run a deficit. This is actually a very interesting one as well. We have no advisor right now. I'm going to do this one. So that means that we can hire one of these guys. And national tax modifier plus 10%. Currently, national tax would net us about 0.7. So he'll mostly pay for himself. And we'll get that admin point per month. I like it. So that should finish up the estate agenda. There we go. And that, of course, means that we can seize our land. Phenomenal. And that basically just seized back the land from this Contribution Act. Uzbek just declared war on Oirat. That is very interesting. These guys are currently still interested in joining this. We're going to keep an eye on that. If they start taking heavy hits and get significantly weakened, we could try to swoop in and attack Uzbek here. They have a lot of manpower reserves right now. That's noted. But we have a decent amount of manpower reserves as well. So that's fine. We can potentially get another construction going here soon. Yes. Slightly higher than normal due to our corruption. But let's build this in Kokent. Fantastic. Boosting up our income that extra little bit. Wonderful. What's going on in Ottoman land? They're fighting the Mamluks. I should have guessed that. That's Ottoman land in a nutshell. So that's reasonably fine. Who all is in this war? So Oirat, Mongolia, Heishi, and Sereg-Yogir. Can we see any of those? I don't know that we can see any of those. So if we go into here, we can... Yep. I'm just interested in knowing who all is in this. Like, did they call in their allies? I'm assuming they did. But I don't know that for an absolute fact. But we'll keep an eye on it. And hopefully we'll get an opportunity to attack here. I'm also interested in expanding some of... Ooh, 17 ducats? Actually, 17 ducats isn't that much. That's okay. We'll spend 17 ducats on this. So I want to attack Uzbek relatively soon. Relatively soon. I would also like to expand out our army. I feel like we definitely need more army. Would Nogai join on this? They would. Hormuz would not. I'm not surprised about that. It's a distant war. They hired an army from Chagatai. Okay, noted. How many reasons do these guys have? 40 reasons, 37 reasons, and 80 reasons. Okay, fair enough. So these guys would be pretty into it. It looks like Uzbek is probably losing this war. We'll keep an eye on this. I hope that they do end up losing this war. They're taking heavy losses. They're going to be dipping into their manpower reserves. Okay. I'm going to build a few extra units here. We need to potentially pounce on this. So we can see 60k right now, 198k total manpower. Yeah, that's a lot. No doubt about that. Ottomans are preparing to attack Albania. Support independence from Fars. Actually, we do support this. Would Timurid's allies be brought in? I'm not 100% on that. Sistan, I want to support their independence. Afghanistan, I want to support their independence. We have no diplomats right now. Okay, so we support all of that independence. Too many diplomatic relations right now. That seems okay. We're going to keep an eye on Uzbek. For now, we're not really in a position to deal with them. Eventually, hopefully, we will be. I do want to continue to boost this up a bit. Timurids are threatening trade, and I do see there's this up over here. Chagatai insulted us. Very rude. So, as a hypothetical here, Afghanistan, Khorasan, Sistan, and Fars. Basically all of these, except for Khorasan, we are supporting the independence of. So if they go ahead and do this, they're not going to have access to these, and they'll be on our side. That war seems winnable, to be honest, even if Mara and Sind are in. Fascinating. They have no manpower right now. Literally none. Okay, who are we interested in favoring here? I don't really want either of these to gain land. We'll let them lose loyalty and influence for now. That's okay. So, we currently do have a disloyal estate, the Emirs. They'll get over it. We have some provincial unrest due to it as well. A gift to the state, and we're going to take cash there. Definitely. I want to build up to 18 so that this is a full-sized army of 20. That is our current combat width, right? 22 is actually our current combat width. Okay, noted. So we are going to be spending a lot of money on our land force limit. That's going to be a problem. We're going to be negative right now. We did fulfill a mission, though, and that mission is... Am I blind? What mission did we fulfill? Indian raid. How did we do this? At least one province in the Kabulistan area and have an army equal or larger than 40,000. Okay, sure. I guess that'll be fine. So, obviously, this military is going to be a big problem for us. We could reduce inflation. That would bring it down to 0. We could also raise war taxes, which would potentially help matters there. We're going to want to further expand our military, which is painful. We want to target 44 right now. It's claiming this costs us 0 per month, but that's not true. I can tell you that right now. We can use a Muslim piety interaction. We're going to drop our corruption down. Absolutely. Wonderful. So that does consume piety. Okay, gotcha. So that's noted. Our corruption, of course, does have some bad effects. It's not going to solve this financial issue. unfortunately. So what are we going to do to solve it? Well, we could run war taxes temporarily, and I think that's an okay option. We could also consider dropping our inflation. This is currently increasing our costs by 1.6%. So the question then becomes, if we do that, how much will that actually save us? So on our army maintenance right now, we're paying 14.42. And then we multiply that times 0.016. So that's 0.23. Let's see how we're doing just with war taxes. 2.57. Okay, we took a loan. Yeah, that's not great. I did not intend to take a loan there, but we are going to reduce our inflation here. And that puts us at... It's still not going to be great. 2.85? Yeah. And we're currently spending 0.34 on that loan, which is certainly not ideal. I think that we could get rid of this fort. That'll save us about half a ducat per month. Seems okay. Poland is planning to attack the Livonian Order, and the question now is, when would these guys be interested in ending their support for independence? So Afghanistan is at 100%, Fars is at 100%, Sistan is at 100%. Khorasan is not. They're still loyal to the Timurids. But we'll see. Is there something that we can do in the emirs here to reduce our maintenance? Manpower modifier, sure, but that's not all that great. No, is the answer. Okay, good to know. Well, we are going to have our land force limit come up somewhat. Chagatai declared on Oirat now as well. Okay. Uzbek is currently fighting even here. Chagatai declared a separate war. I'm checking hypotheticals here. We're probably not going to actually declare anything here, but just checking. Cool. So for now, that's reasonably fine. We can recall our diplomat from the Ottomans, who is still not interested currently in being our ally, but is actually really close. It's mostly our navy strength at this point. And the fact that they have too many diplomatic relations and their neutral attitude towards us. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So we're going to be very negative once we declare on the Timurids, right? Or once these guys end up declaring. I don't know when they're going to. Governmental functions are breaking down, requiring us to raise our stability again. That's unfortunate. We're going to boost that right back up. I don't want to be at -1 right now. We could consider going to +1. That would help our taxation. How far are we from admin tech? About a year and a half. Okay. An agricultural revolution. So we could definitely gain a base production. I would very much like that. Ah, here we go. Okay. So, let's take stock of the situation. What do we have going on here? We have the Farsi War for Independence. Fars, Afghanistan, Ajam, Cyprus, Delhi, Hejaz, Mamluks, Sistan, Syria, and Transoxania versus Timurids, Khorasan, Mara, and Sind. We got this. Okay, so we're going to head directly on in over here. I'm going to send this force out over this way. I think we can afford to split our forces. Timurids is only at 20k. Yeah, seems fine. And we can actually see all of their forces right now. We know where they are. So that seems okay. We are losing money, of course, and we should be prodigiously losing money right now. Yeah, that's to be expected. And we're going to see about taking some of this territory, ideally. Cool. Like, basically, all we want to do is grab whatever land we can out of this. That is our current goal. So, to that end, I'm going to split these guys off here and these guys off here. We're going to head on over. We'll see if we get there in time. We might not get Kashmir. Nope, we beat them there. Beautiful. Okay, so we want to head on over this direction. We're going to grab these areas. Done and done. Cool. We'll see if we end up getting anything here. We may actually want to... Can we separate piece? we could separate piece. In theory. Okay, noted. We're probably interested in separate piecing just to guarantee that we get a good amount of land out of this. That would probably be for the best. So we're going to continue to push on over here, but it is currently time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to fight the Temurids. This should not be difficult. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.